Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the Little Reader's House. I'm the Little Reader, and you're in my house. And may I just say, what an honor and pleasure it is to share space and breath and life with you. I'm so very grateful to co-create this reading with you. Today, we are talking about a long time coming topic, which is understanding manifestation in the new paradigm in which we have stepped into energetically. So many of us are familiar with the greats who have guided us through the manifestation process for the past several decades, maybe even centuries. And we can all name, and you're welcome to drop some names in the comments if you'd like, some of those prominent individuals who are channeled beings and others who are just very intellectual, very brilliant thinkers who have shared their insights on how to go about manifesting your dreams into this reality. And they're all phenomenal. And they've all served us so very well. I mean, look where we've come as a species, as souls, as spirits in our present time. It's remarkable what we've accomplished. And I am so grateful for those incredible manifestors. Now we've reached a new age, a new time, a new energy. It's been ramping up for the past 3 years, and we've been making quantum leaps at rates that can't really be quantified in such a way that our mind can understand it, but your heart most certainly knows. And if you are over the age of 3 years old, you have the ability to compare and contrast frequencies that you can remember from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and the way that you perceived speed passing, time passing, the way that you perceived the ease or difficulty of manifestation, the way that you perceived your own mind. All of these things have changed radically. So in this new paradigm, the extra dimensional beings that I chat with and the spirits with whom I commune and my own higher self and the all that is would like new information to be released to facilitate a greater understanding of manifestation that will allow much more ease, much more openness, much more efficiency in your manifestation process and in your overall life. It is true to say that we don't need to look at manifestation as a singular, separate process. Our entire life is a manifestation, including our sleeping and waking hours. Every little moment is part of this process. So while we're calling this secrets and insights to the new manifestation paradigm or something along that vein, it is really secrets and insights to how to live our lives to our fullest and richest potential now, and to get as much juice out of the squeeze of this time that we have on earth and enjoy it and be a fountain and anchor for divine love for ourselves and for every being that we meet and encounter. So if that sounds like something that you want to learn more about and experience, then you've come to exactly the right place. And how are we going to do it? We're going to do it with a pick a card reading. So each crew is going to represent a different piece of advice and insight that is specific to their energy, that will fill in the puzzle or the puzzle pieces that have been missing from the bigger view. And for so many, there are no missing puzzle pieces. So many of the folks that are attracted to these videos are extremely intuitive and instead are moving into this new way of engaging with pick a card readings. So because it's relevant to manifestation, let's talk about it. This intro is going to be a tad longer than usual. So if you're ready to just dive in, check out the description box below and you can go ahead and pick your crew based off of the cards you see here. But if you want to know a little bit more, stick with me. There was a time when information was best conveyed through the neurolingual understanding of words. So I would say blue, pink, red, hard, soft, easy, and you would know exactly what I meant. And that has been, as we've talked about for the past decades and centuries of time, the way that we've conveyed information. It passes from mind to mind and then is synthesized as memories or as information. In the new paradigm in which you and I are inhabiting so very joyfully, things have changed. And they've always been this way to a certain degree, but the shift and the effect of what I'm about to describe has heightened significantly. Now, instead of using descriptor words to convey information, something that we're seeing in the bioelectromagnetic field, you could say, which is much more heart-centric than it is mind-centric, is information passing through our hearts even more effectively than our minds. Because our minds, while they have evolved and they're processing information at new speeds and rates, and it's a beautiful thing to behold, our hearts have jumped forward in their evolution to such a degree it can't really be measured. It's really a exponential increase. So now when you hold space with a pick a card reading from any reader, whether that be the little reader or any of the incredible readers that we share space with here on YouTube, you're actually receiving a transmission of energy. And that transmission of energy is in part verbal, and they're saying words like blue, green, pink, red, soft, hard, easy, and you're understanding the words, but your heart is taking in the frequency that's being delivered. And it's a subtle process, but as you've probably noticed, especially if you're part of the Little Reader's House, you've got a key, you're a subscriber, you're probably a fan of readings to the degree that you know that you can put one on and have it playing in your space and receive this entire energetic download and upgrade without having to concentrate on the meaning of the words or what is being said verbally. So the transmission is much less intellectual and much more bioelectromagnetic in the heart space. It's all part of the new paradigm shift, and it really works in tandem with what we're going to be talking about in manifestation today. So that being said, if you hold space with these readings, not just mine, but anyone's and anything really, whether that be your favorite television series or your favorite films, your favorite music, your favorite people, places, and things, you are in training with their energy field to such a degree that at this stage in our evolution and the paradigm in which we're living currently, you're actually downloading and learning information about the things that you are surrounding yourself with. When you hold space with this reading, all you need to do is play it and receive the energetic upgrades and the energetic transmission of the information that is being delivered. So it's a very exciting time. It gives us an insight as to what has changed in the manifestation world. But of course, to get down to the specific insights for each of my beautiful crews, we're going to go deeper and deeper into the weeds. And if you enjoy listening and you enjoy the intellectual quality and you like the banter, and like me, your mind enjoys stimulation and conversation, then I think you're going to love it also. All in all, wherever you fall, listening for entertainment and company, or listening for information and something to chew on and mull on intellectually, I hope that you find it here. So let's talk about our crews for today. Starting with my first crew, we have Danburite. It's a beautiful Danburite, and we are using these cards that were created by, let's see, I believe his name is Mike Dooley. Yes, Mike Dooley. It's Notes from the Universe on Abundance, and I was guided to use this deck as each one's going to provide a little insight for what we're learning about manifestation today. So here's my gorgeous Danburite crew. Danburite. Beautiful. Then I have my beautiful Bloodstone crew. Beautiful Bloodstone. Then we've got Tibetan Quartz. My Tibetan Quartz crew. Look at that. Wow. And finally, beautiful Fluorite. Beautiful Fluorite crew. gorgeous. So take a look and see what crew you're attracted to, and feel free to choose more than one, especially because this is kind of like a lesson plan. So if you want to think of it as lesson 1 through 4, you can do that. You can take time to go through all of the crews at some point, or choose multiples that you're attracted to. Either way, I cannot wait to meet you there, and I will see you in just a moment at your crew, your first crew. Hello, my beautiful Danburite crew, and welcome to your reading on the new secrets and insights to manifestation for this new paradigm. Still not sure how that name's gonna look when it gets typed out, but you know why you're here. Look at this beautiful Danburite crystal first and foremost, and notice how there are 2 crystals fused together. I love that. I think it's indicative of something, and we're gonna see what it is. But we're going to turn over this card and get an insight first as to what you're learning, what puzzle piece we can fill in on your puzzle to get you to the energetic vibrational state that your soul wants to be in. So I'm going to go ahead and set you down over here. But before I do that, I just want to remind you in the most friendly little reader way that you are so very worthy of love above all else, worthy of love, worthy of the manifestation of your dreams, worthy of being held, just like these 2 crystals are holding one another in community, in solidarity, and uplifted, to feel like you are seen, valued, heard, and known for exactly who you are. So now I can set you down right over here, and we'll turn over this card and see what it says. Ooh, it's a long one. I love that. You can dance with the illusions of time and space, choosing your steps based upon things and events as they now are. Or you can dance with your dreams, choosing your steps based upon things and events as they will be. And I bet you can guess which steps will perpetuate today's illusions and which ones will change everything. Shall we? The universe. I love that. Let's tuck it over here and let's take a little peek at the energy check that I have set up, not seen yet, but set up. Before we flip these cards, energetically speaking, my beautiful Danburite crew, the idea of unity and separation is coming through strongly here. I see what looks like 2 separate crystals fused here down the middle, and I want to make sure this is visible. Bink. So we got crystal A and crystal B, and they're like fused, but it is in fact one crystal, and we recognize this as one, but the illusion of separation is here. The next thing I see is, in this card, mention of illusions. Either dancing with your dreams or dancing with the illusion of how things appear right now. So we're going to take a look at this energy check, but you may already feel this alignment if you've been feeling separated between what you want and where you are. And when I say where you are, I don't necessarily mean geographically, but I also do. Because if you want something that is material, that is not with you currently, then there is in fact a geographic separation between you, isn't there? There's literal space between you. And even if you want a feeling or an experience, the psychosomatic in your body of ease or health, wellness, vitality, youth, it stands to reason that you're perceiving a geographical separation between where you are and that thing as well. So let's see what your energy check says. But if that's tracking, then you're already in the right place. Observer, got it. And the Tao Setians, resilient, bold, and sassy. So what we've got here is a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck and a card from the Mystic Martian. I almost said magician, so maybe that's you, Oracle, to give us a little insight as to what you're learning and what energy can help. So again, with the separation piece, let's begin the lesson, and then we're going to dive into Britt's Third Eye Tarot, which is the tarot deck that we're using today for you, my beautiful Danburite crew. Feeling like you're on the outside of what you desire makes perfect sense. And what the masters of manifestation in this paradigm, who have already figured it out, conquered it, and developed instantaneous manifestations. These are beings, spirits, thought forms, Akashic records, a whole host of information that's available to us. What they want us to know here, my beautiful Danburite crew, is that when a manifestation is on the brink of happening and it's about to fuse into reality, one of the keys that is about to occur is that we don't feel separate from it. Now, this is not a trick. Many, many instructors about manifestation in the old paradigm would say, you've got to trick yourself into feeling the way you want to feel. Now, again, I don't know why they're British, but sometimes they just are when they come through me. It's like all these tips and tricks that have been given in the past. Like, okay, let's say you want a Maserati, for example. You've got to go test drive a Maserati, and you've got to put yourself behind the wheel. Feel the acceleration, feel the hum of the internal combustion engine, feel the air whiz by, presuming it's a convertible or you've got the windows down, whatever. And the idea behind this instruction was to say, create the feeling as much as you can to kind of trick yourself into leapfrogging energetically from where you are, that is quote unquote separate from what you desire, to where you want to be. Now, this is not an erroneous principle at all, but it is kind of like saying, get in the horse and buggy and take a road trip from Los Angeles to Miami. We have planes now. So it is a little bit of an older technology, and it's older because it operates on the principle of separation. It is by default saying you are on the outside, observing where you want to be. You are separate from that thing. You must create a bridge from point A to point B. Go create that bridge. Okay, so that is old, not obsolete. I mean, horse and buggy can still get you from Los Angeles to Miami. Don't you doubt it. But you really got to be in for that long journey. You really got to be down for changing out the horses and feeding them and, maybe picking up after them if you're into that sort of thing. And then you're probably not going to have AC in the buggy. I guess it really depends on how high tech the buggy is, but there's a lot there. Long story short, LSS. Here's your new instruction before we even get into the tarot. Here's my beautiful Danburite crew's lesson, your puzzle piece. You are not separate from anything that you desire. You are not separate from anything that you desire. All that is separate is your perception. And there is a reason for that. And we don't have to hijack it. We don't have to resist it. And we don't have to change it. Let that sink in. So, beautiful Danburite crew who is worthy of love and all you dream of, get this. New paradigm of manifestation. You want a Maserati. You're thinking to yourself initially, okay, I gotta go out. I gotta drive it. I gotta feel it. And if I can't do that, then I need to figure out what is the feeling I'm trying to achieve here? And then I have to invite that feeling in. And all of these have tos are let's just let them go. Adios. You don't have to do a thing because you're not separate from a Maserati. You actually are a Maserati. And heads up, anything that you desire is in fact your destiny. So something that wasn't talked about much in the old paradigm of manifestation is that time is not linear. And so many of these principles of manifestation in the old paradigm relied on the idea that time is linear, therefore reinforcing a linear concept of time. We're going to let that go gently with love and understand that time is circular. Now, if you're looking, I'm making a circle with my hands. But you can visualize this too if my voice is just echoing through something or other. Time is in fact circular, and our perception of time is as if we are, and I'm going to place you, my beautiful Danburite, in the middle of this circle. You're standing in the middle of this circle. Now, you can shine a light on this circle at any point in time, and whether you know it or not, you are witnessing events. They may have occurred, so they're called memory, or they may have not occurred, so they're called dreams. But they are, in fact, energetically considered equal, meaning you are looking at energies that all hold the same weight in the Akashic records. Therefore, your dreams and the things that you desire are actually, in a way, memories. You just haven't realized yet. You're shining a light on them before you've linearly gotten to them, but they are as energetically equivalent to a memory that has already occurred. And you can shine this light of your consciousness on both memories and future events, as you know, all day, every day. Now, don't try to hack this process by saying, okay, so I've got to really shine a light then on the things that I want to happen. No. What I'm illustrating here is that they've already happened. So it doesn't matter if you shine a light on them just once or if you shine a light on them 10,000 times today. Your consciousness doesn't need to be hacked. You don't have to make this process happen. Your dreams are your destiny, and they are not separate from you, my beautiful Danburite crew. They are your destiny, and they are not separate from you. Now, we can have a moral discussion about that at another time because there are some small caveats to that. For example, interfering with specific other people's free will or specific other people's consent. Typically, if that is a desire that you have, then the desire is tinged with some shadow aspects and some resistance that are making it dependent on interfering with somebody else's life. That's a separate category. Those desires aren't typically destined the way that desires for a certain sort of experience or a certain sort of feeling are. So you will also have heard, my beautiful Danburite, in the past manifestation paradigm, get super specific. Get super specific. Like, going back to the Maserati example, what are the seat covers looking like? What are the interior? Is it leather or vinyl? Cloth? I'm not sure. Maserati interior, not too familiar with it myself. But, the rims, the engine, what does it sound like? All of these things. We get into a little bit muddy area when we go so specific that way, because it's giving the mind permission to co-opt a process that is really driven by the heart. And that is another thing that the beings who have mastered manifestation in this paradigm want you to know, my beautiful Danburite crew, that not only are you not separate from any of your desires, and not only are your desires actually your destiny, but that manifestation is a process of the heart. In fact, the deeper heart. So that is why we've got a lot of green going on here. In our current paradigm, green and colors like emerald and colors like jade, anything that activates the deep recesses of our heart that are often hidden below what our mind can sense, is what is running our manifestation experience. So I know this is a lot of information to take in. Let's do a little pause and take in some deep breaths. Start by doing a deep exhale out, and then deep inhale in through your nose. Hold on the peak for just a moment and then sigh it out through your mouth. 2 more times, please. Deep inhale in. Hold it on the peak and sigh it out. And last one, deep inhale in. Hold it on the peak and sigh it out. Beautiful. Fantastic. So, my beautiful Danburite crew, we're going to dip into your tarot in a moment. But know this. You are not going to be given any tips or tricks here today to manifest. You are not going to be given any assignments where you sit and visualize for 20 to 60 minutes, or you meditate for X, Y, and Z amount of time, or you co-opt your mind and force into your senses and heart a sort of feeling state. No, my beautiful Danburite crew, you're not separate from your desires. Your desires are your destiny. Time is not linear, and your heart is doing all the work for you. So it leaves you with this, and I can't help but notice 21 is the number of the world card. Tao Setians, this energy of being resilient, bold, and sassy, it means you can break free from the obligations of manifesting your desires. You can dance with your dreams, not with effort, not because like, oh my gosh, I have to do this thing because if I don't, the thing's not going to happen. Like I got to keep the vibration high and I got to X, Y, and Z it. No, baby, no, Danburite crew. You get to play. You get to be sassy. You get to be bold. I know this seems like a wild one, but you get to, quote unquote, make mistakes. You can, in fact, quote unquote, wallow in feelings that are passing through you without judging them or changing them because of a fear that they are going to keep you on the outside of your desire, when in fact, you are one with your desire. Let's go a little bit into that. When I said that you are a Maserati, if that's what you want, even if that's not what you want, if a Maserati exists and you know about it, it's you and you're it. This is the highest truth, is that although we perceive separation between us and other things, it is just that, a perception. And that perception is meant to keep us safe. That perception is designed, my beautiful Danburite crew, so that we know on a primal, functional level what we're responsible for, feeding our bodies, sleeping our bodies, cleaning our bodies, exercising our bodies, and tending to our minds and hearts. We know what's our innate primal responsibility, and we know what is the responsibility of other things. As we evolve, we are starting to see hearts connect. So we are reaching a point where everyone will know what they're responsible for, but will also understand that they have the power to take ownership, positive ownership over everything in their reality. So here's what I'm trying to say, my beautiful Danburite crew, and just let it wash over you. It may take a few listens. It may take time for this to intellectually make sense, but the vibration is being transmitted to your heart right now and activating your understanding of this principle. The more you take ownership for exactly where you are in this present moment, and you activate your resilience, your boldness, your sassy personality, things as they are, because things as they are a manifestation of dreams past. So let's honor past dreams. The more you take ownership and the more you integrate everything that approaches you, whether that be a feeling that enters your heart, a thought that enters your mind, a person that enters your space, a space that enters your consciousness. The more you connect and allow these things to unfold and integrate with them, the more your perception will shift to diminish a feeling of separateness between you and that which you desire. So just sit with that for a moment and let it wash over you in the knowing that this is a naturally unfolding process. You are watching it happen. And you don't have to co-opt, handle, hack, or change. All you do is sow love into your heart. Sow love into your heart, because your heart is the thing that is doing all the work for you. There have been so many individuals who have manifested the life of their dreams and never once sat down and visualized it. Never once wrote a long list of their juicy vision board, life path, life vision. Never once said mantras, talked to themselves in the mirror, even did readings. Those individuals were what we call ahead of their time, because they were tapping into a page that the majority of the human population wasn't reading yet, but now we're reading it. And on the page it says, love. Love yourself. Nourish your body, mind, and spirit. Pour love into your heart through whatever practice makes you feel alive, not with an agenda, simply for the bliss and the joy of playing and letting the love flow through you. And your manifestations will effortlessly unfold because they are your destiny. Your perception will effortlessly change because it will raise to align with greater truths. And you will enjoy every moment of it, my beautiful Danburite crew. I love you so much. You're so wonderful and so ready to experience the life of your dreams, starting with being yourself, just dipping into your own creativity, your own laughter, your own giddiness, your own joy. What makes you, you? What I see here, my beautiful Danburite crew, is that there may have been a point in your journey where you felt you had to change who you are to align with something, presumably a higher self. But what your higher self is saying and what your guides are saying is that actually the more you get, the more quirky and funny and maybe a little off the wall, a little more unexpected, but just yourself, the more you align effortlessly. The greater your kingdom grows, the larger your empire becomes, the more material wealth flows to you aggressively, apparently. You're a lion, my beautiful Danburite crew, or a tiger, some powerful animal. And by stepping into that power for no other purpose than simply to know thyself, manifestation is done. It's done. So let's put you down right over here and see what the tarot has to say. Britt's Third Eye Tarot. Give us an insight specifically for my Danburite crew spirit that hasn't been covered yet, that will touch them right in the heart and help send this message home, which is into that beautiful heart that emits the most powerful bioelectromagnetic frequency, changing realities, creating miracles and magic with every pulse. And we can even feel that pulse happening on a physical level. It's incredible. Ah, the Seven of Cups, dreaming. Dreaming. Let's see, we have more space here, right? Yeah, we've got more space. There we go. Just checking the frame, my beautiful Danburite crew. How you doing? Leave me a little comment. Let me know if you're listening to this with your listening ears and with your listening heart, but listening to it to get information. How do you feel about these upgrades? How do you feel about these changes in the manifestation paradigm? What have you sensed? What have you felt? Where has your journey taken? You've got so much wisdom. I would love to know your insights here. We've got the Chariot. We've got the Nine of Wands. We've got the Three of Cups. So total reiteration. And the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Yes. And the Seven of Cups. So we've got a reiteration of the previous message, which lets me know that we've covered it beautifully. We'll go through it one more time. Thank you to the tarot for giving it to us in this language, because it really creates a beautiful scene. With the Seven of Cups as our presiding back of the deck energy, it is a reminder from Spirit, my beautiful Danburite crew, to not get in your head about manifestation. This is a very specific message because it's not said enough, I'm hearing. There's a lot of instruction and direction from manifestation gurus saying it's okay to dream about what you want, but don't dream about it so much that you don't feel like you have it, because then you've got yourself in a quandary, because then you're telling yourself that you don't have it, and then you're increasing separation. It's a whole thing. So let's just let that one go. And if you want to say this affirmation out loud with me, my beautiful Danburite crew, you are so very welcome to. And it goes like this. I release all previous understandings of manifestation as a process and as a way of being. And I give my heart complete permission to be the rightful master of my manifestation experience. Your message here is to not worry and not agonize over your dreams and desires when you're dreaming and desiring about them. If you get in a state, which I can sense that you do sometimes get into, of worrying that you're wanting something too much, that's okay. You're not foiling it. You're not messing it up. You're not ruining your chances. You are an intuitive individual, so you can feel in your body and mind changes when you obsess or when you overthink or when you dream or when you yearn. And then you start to think, uh-oh, I'm messing it up. Like I can feel the changes in my body. I can feel the tension. I can feel all the things. Spirit's instruction here is to get back to yourself and say, okay, I've dreamed. I've got myself a little worried, got myself a little kinked. You don't have to worry about those worries and kinks until they start to make you worry about them, in which case Spirit says, go back to the fun. Go back to yourself. Your antidote to these moments when you panic about messing it up because you want it so bad is to have fun. Get back to the fun. Gently redirect yourself to the fun. And a lot of the advice here is in the yellows, in the reds, and in the oranges, which tells me play with those lower chakras, my beautiful Danburite crew. Feel the passion. Get grounded with your root chakra. Get outside to the earth. Get creative. Write a poem about how scary it is to obsessively want something, and watch how you funnel that mental energy out. Obsession is in the air right now, my beautiful Danburite crew. You're not alone. I guarantee that every crew is going to feel a measure of it to some degree today, because our minds don't know what to make of this huge influx of energy that is now flowing through our hearts with all the recent activations that have happened. So the mind is picking up on and giving form to what it is sensing in the heart. And as it gives form to these things, and that's all the mind really does, is give form to vibrations that the heart is pulling in and sending out, it starts to get obsessed, because it's like, I can feel all this energy, I can feel all this form, I can feel my proximity to my desire. Then it spirals into, why isn't it here? What am I doing wrong? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And then obsession results. That's okay. The mind will adapt. The mind will evolve. And right now we are holding space and forgiving and loving on the mind for being brave and bold enough to try to make sense of all this new energy. We're also understanding that the mind is still learning. It's always learning. And that the heart is where the wisdom is held. So this is all Spirit asks you to do, is when you panic about how quickly am I going to get with the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords, we see this huge panic, especially with the Knight of Swords. We're going from the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Swords, and then the Chariot and the Nine of Wands. So we have on both sides the energy of actively doing, and on the other side, the energy of actively thinking. And anytime we get caught in this web of, I must do this, or I must think this, Spirit redirects us to the play. Three of Cups, dead center. I want you to play. I want you to have fun. Anytime you think you're the one creating it, get back to the play and the fun. Anytime you're the one who thinks you have to think it into manifestation, get back to the play and the fun. Run to the play and the fun. Because here's the deal. You're not wrong. You are the one responsible for creating your dreams and desires. But when I say you, I mean your heart. And the heart responds to fun. The heart responds to innocence, collaboration, a childlike approach. So anytime we start to feel the tension in our bodies, it's a good time to just exhale, relax, melt the body down, get a massage if you can, and focus on total fun. Then, if fun starts to feel like a task you're giving yourself, focus on having more fun. Basically, up-level the fun each time the mind tries to co-opt, or the idea of taking action tries to co-opt your manifestation. Spirit wants you in your heart, my beautiful Danburite crew, where the magic of manifestation is occurring in this new paradigm. Spirit wants you dancing and playing and releasing and relaxing and trusting, because it's a time unlike any other time. And I don't want to comment on your specific manifestations because I don't need to, whatever they may be, person, place, or thing, love, adventure, excitement, abundance. They are your birthright. They are not separate from you. They are part of you. So allow yourself to play and celebrate and have fun in the knowledge that it is not you who is responsible for dissolving the alleged separation between you and your desires. Because there is no separation between you and your desires. So as you play and relax and nourish and nurture yourself, the perception of separation dissolves all on its own. And with that dissolution comes the arising of those manifestations in physical form. So in a sentence, play and play and play some more. That is your puzzle piece. That is your answer. It is the opposite of a regimented intellectual approach. And it is a dipping into the complete surrender and trust that knows whatever magic created you so perfectly, because you are in fact divinely perfect, that same magic will effortlessly create your destiny, which includes your dreams. And so it is, my beautiful Danburite crew. That is your message on manifestation today. I am sending you all the love I've got. If you enjoyed the reading, please put a thumbs up on the video. Comments are welcome and adored by me, the little reader. If you want a key to the house, go ahead and subscribe so you can stay in tune with all the great lessons that are coming out. And until we meet again, beautiful soul, bye for now. Hello, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, and welcome to your reading on, what are we even calling it? I don't know. It hasn't been typed yet, the title, so something about the insights and the secrets to the new manifestation paradigm. We'll call it whatever comes up in the moment. But in this moment, it's you and me, baby, and I am so excited to have you here. Your energy is already contagious and joyful, which I love. In your heart, which is what we're tapping into today, everybody's hearts who comes to this space, I am feeling a levity that brings me great joy. So thank you for that. I'm going to set you down over here and we're going to get started. But before I do that, I just want to give you a friendly little reader reminder that you are beyond worthy of love. So worthy of love above all else, in every way that you dream. With the knowledge that every manifestation that we seek is truly a gradient of love that we're looking to slot into our beautiful solar energy body. I want you to know that you're worthy of every single gradient of love and every single minute, beautiful color variation. Every dream fulfilled, you're worthy of it, and so much more. So with that understanding, now I can set you down in peace and harmony, and we can flip over this card from Mike Dooley, which is from a deck called Notes from the Universe on Abundance. So every crew got one. They're all different. I don't know what any of them are, but we're going to read it right now. Find out. Eternity is a really, really, really long time. I think we'll be able to squeeze everything in. Relax. Peace and blue jeans. The universe. Oh, I love that so much. Eternity is a really, really, really long time. I think we'll be able to squeeze everything in. Relax. Oh, that's so, so nice. So you hear that? My beautiful Bloodstone crew? Relax. Take a load off. Grab some lemonade. Put your feet up. Maybe a little cozy blanket and just, with the knowledge that this transmission of energy is going to lift you up, embolden and enable and activate you. Even if you never take a single action, you will be forever changed in the best way, simply by being here and basking in the love today. So, with that, let's take a peek at your energy check. I've got it set up, but I have no idea what's underneath the cards here. So we've got a Wisdom of the Oracle card and we've got a Mystic Martian card. The Mystic Martians are showing up a lot more now. I've had the deck for, that's an excellent question, over a year. But they're beginning to want to be included in the readings so much more. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. Come to the edge. Ooh. So this is what energetically you're learning or going through, or where you may be struggling right now. Come to the edge. And then the advice and the wisdom from the Mystic Martians is, the vegans, solitude, independence, and peace. Not to be confused with vegans. Vega, this is actually a star, and it's got its own energetic frequency. But I do believe that the vegans are peace-loving individuals who aren't eating life forms with advanced nervous systems. I believe that is mentioned in the book. So, fun food for thought, no pun intended. And if you are vegan, please drop that down in the comments, because I would get such a kick out of knowing that little synchronicity happened. Here's what we notice right off the bat, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, is a very big emphasis on peace and relaxation, which tells me two things. There is a solar plexus imbalance happening here that remarkably results from polar opposites. And it's beautiful because in this earthly plane on which we live, anything taken to too far of an extreme results in the opposite. It's very poetic. So you may fall into one of two camps. A, you are on the edge doing the most. And as I like to say sometimes, we are doing the most with the least. In other words, it's coming from a place of kind of forcing it. Or you fall into this other fantastic camp. By the way, the little reader has lived in both of these camps for like most of her life, so don't panic. The other camp is, we're not doing shit. We're not doing a thing. We are still in a solar plexus imbalance, but it's because we're repressing and restraining ourselves from action rather than letting it flow out like harmonious music. So either way, whether you find yourself in camp A or B of doing the most or doing nothing, we're all in the same boat together, and that includes me. So if that resonates, then you are exactly where you need to be. Or if you're just passing through to get the lesson and the energetic upgrade and then be on your way, totally love that also. But for most of you, you will find yourself in one of these two camps. So Spirit wants to emphasize before we even get into the tarot, and I'm very excited because we're using the Mushroom Hunters Tarot, which I love because I love mushrooms. Before we even get there, we're emphasizing peace. So let's channel in this lesson from the beings who have mastered manifestation in this new paradigm, because there are beings who have been there, done that, left it in the Akashic records, and are actively communicating with those who are interested, of whom you are one. So I am so glad that we're on the same page together. Old paradigm manifestation. Let me take you back to a time when, could have been the 90s. You know, I think manifestation was being talked about even as early as Joseph Murphy in the 60s and 70s with the power of the subconscious mind. And I didn't intend to name drop it all, by the way. That was a little slip. You got that out of me. But there are many. You know who they are. You know who I'm talking about. And they've paved the way. Paved the way. But as the example I used in the intro, I believe, or maybe actually I used it in my Danburite Crew. So nobody's heard this yet except Danburite Crew. If we use old manifestation techniques now, it's like taking a horse and buggy from Los Angeles to Miami. I'm not sure how long that would take, if I'm being honest with you. And I'm not sure how enjoyable it would be. It would get you there. Yes, it would. Because everything ultimately does. You could also walk. However, in this day and age, darling, you can get on a plane and be there in 5 hours. I know this because I've done it. So we've had advancements. And an old paradigm manifestation master might have told you that you can do one of two things when it comes to manifestation. And it's amazing how these two ideas were both perpetuated equally and are total opposites. One manifestation master would tell you, you've got to get off your sweet cheeks and start doing things. Doing it. What are you sitting down for? Turn off the Netflix and go hand out 100 resumes, you know? And another that slipped out, manifestation master, kind of the same, because we could say meditation and manifestation go hand in hand, would tell you, no, sit down. You don't need to hand out 100 resumes. Sit down and meditate and masturbate and visualize and, and I mean that literally. Sex magic was a whole thing and still is. And just, get really in love with the juicy, juicy process of the feelings of the things, but don't hand out any resumes, because when the time is right, someone's going to come to your door and ask you for a resume. And that is how it will go. So that is the dichotomy between these two worlds is what we're looking at today. Because in the new manifestation paradigm, they're both a non-factor. The solar plexus role is not to, I keep wanting to say manhandle, so I'll just say it, not to manhandle the process of manifestation. The solar plexus chakra and the yellow energy that comes from it is all about empowerment. In past paradigms, we have understood that as spiritual folk to mean our empowerment to walk around in the world, the way we're perceived, our ego, our reputation, the actions we take or don't take. And all of those things are accurate. But we've got new technology now. And the solar plexus chakra is running a new game. It's got a lot of people confused because a lot of the old tricks of making things happen aren't working anymore. And the also old tricks of orgasming your dream into existence also aren't working anymore. So people are like confuzzled, like what? The solar plexus now works as a support to the heart. And the big message of today's reading in every single crew, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, is that the heart is your manifestation, your seat of manifestation. It's your manifestation master, specifically the deeper ventricles of the heart. I say ventricles because I'm referencing physical anatomy, but as with every physical organ, there is a non-physical world component to it. And if you could see the heart and what goes on in the heart, it is your manifestation hub, especially those deeper areas. Hence why we have all the greens going on today. Green, 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 green everywhere. Because this emerald color, this green color, this jade color, this malachite color is the frequency that identifies dreams and destiny and then turns them into matter. And that is a change. That's actually an upgrade, because historically you would see a lot more manifestation happening in the yellow frequency, the citrine frequency, the, oh my goodness, someone throw out yellow stones, amber frequency. As we've upgraded and as we've shifted, and we'll continue to see this over our evolution, eventually the heart may not be the hub anymore, at least not the way it is now. At some point, you may be able to speak things into material existence through the throat chakra, and they'll be there. Then in another point, you'll be able to visualize them through the third eye and the purple frequency, and boom, it'll be there, and so on and so forth. But where we are now, we've shifted away from this solar plexus doing, into this heart. So what does that mean? That's the question. Now, what is the role of the solar plexus? For all of us who were taught how to make things happen, it kind of really does leave the jaw on the floor. Like, yo, okay, so now what do I do? Well, that's what I'm here to teach you, my beautiful Bloodstone crew. So think of your solar plexus chakra now as a support for the heart, as an engine that is providing a foundation for the work of the heart. Now, if you're pouring action into anything, the masters of manifestation in our current paradigm would like you to know that any action you are or aren't taking should be in support of your own heart health. Am I saying eat rolled oats? Sort of. I know that there was always a heart on the rolled oats box, because like it's good for your heart. And yes, do take care of your physical heart health. Absolutely. Physical health is fundamental foundation for spiritual and emotional and mental well-being. So yes, I suppose if it's okay with your medical professional, eat rolled oats. I'm not a doctor. Don't quote me on that. Here's what I'm the master of. Well, nothing. But here's what the masters want you to know, who I'm the mouthpiece of. Take care of your heart with all of your energy and actions, and your manifestations will effortlessly arise out of that. So here's a very literal example. Let's say you want a job. In a past paradigm, you would have gotten the instruction to do one of two things. We already talked about it. From a manifestation master, they would have told you, go pass out 100 resumes, be relentless, make it happen, act as if you're already the expert, go out there and do the thing. Or they would have said, sit at home, put your resumes in a stack somewhere, because you're just gonna know when the moment is right. It's gonna be like serendipitous. You're gonna bump into somebody who needs a resume and wham bam, thank you ma'am, ooh, or oh ha damn. It's all done. New instruction. Before you print out a single resume, before you knock on a single door, before you fill out, who prints out resumes anymore? Before you go on glassdoor.com or LinkedIn or wherever you go, cool kids be doing the things, nourish your heart. This has become your prime operative mission critical, some might say. Don't even think about a job or a resume until you have nourished your heart. I keep going back to diet with the rolled oats, and I'm pretty sure it's because it says vegans right in front of me. So Spirit, what are you telling me here? Okay, literally do nourish your heart. That is more important than I previously realized on a physical level. What are heart healthy foods that make your heart space feel amazing when you eat them? For the record, I am not advocating that you put yourself on a specific diet. What I am advocating for on behalf of the masters of manifestation who are speaking to me right now is that you find foods and meals that give you a heart-opening experience when you eat them, when you consume them. And that's not going to look the same for everybody, and it's not supposed to. And it's not going to be on a list of the top 10 heart-healthy foods, nor is it going to be on like vegan, vegetarian, or other strictly regimented style of eating. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with your innate bioelectromagnetic response to your genetic programming reacting to the genetic programming of the food you're eating. And there's so much more than just the genetics. It's also the way your emotional body responds to the food you're eating. So that means for some people, it could be a bowl of spinach. Kudos to you if that's you, by the way, because wow, that's incredible. That's really green, and that goes with the heart thing. Or it could be a bowl of mac and cheese. I'll say that again because we got to break through some mental blocks here. Old paradigm thinking is to say, but wait a second, little reader, you've got to measure the frequency of the mac and cheese against, the noodle and the Roundup that was in the gluten, and then the cheese obviously comes from the dairy, which is the thing, and then the spinach is so pure. We're not talking about making moral judgments about the energetic vibration of the food. There's a time and place for that. This ain't it. What we're talking about is how your body responds physically in your heart space to the consumption of specific meals. And it's going to be different for everyone because A, everybody is vastly different. In fact, it would not be far-fetched to say that every individual is almost as different as a different species completely from the other when it comes to this type of thing. But also because that person's emotional body is going to respond differently depending on whether they were force-fed spinach or rewarded with mac and cheese on weekends, depending on whether they have an iron deficiency, depending on whether their gastrointestinal tract needs a certain intelligence from one of the two foods. And the only way this is going to be figure-outable is going to be on an individual case-by-case basis. Which means when using your solar plexus chakra in the new manifestation paradigm, your energy is best spent discovering the things that open up your heart and nourish you on both a physical, not just both, but a physical, a mental, an emotional, and a spiritual level. That is where to put your solar plexus superpower engagement yellow frequency energy. In this paradigm, we spend our energy turning it inwards to strengthen and broaden the reach of our hearts, knowing that the reach of our hearts is what is responsible for, and the distance and the breadth and the clarity of the vibrations that our heart is sending out is what is responsible for our manifestations. Not saying, okay, heart, you chill out, I'm going to run out and do the work. Or I'm going to sit here and, let the work happen, because that's totally a feasible thing also. But again, an old technology. So where does that leave us? Let's synthesize, my beautiful Bloodstone crew. How you doing in there? How is this resonating? Leave me a little commie-com. Let me know. That's short for comment, by the way. Just want to make sure we're clear on that. I'm coming back here. What is this about? What is this about, Spirit? Yes. Okay. Relaxing. This is something we haven't touched on yet. What the solar plexus chakra needs right now is to relax, to be at peace. Solar plexus is all about digestion. So I believe that is not only why the vegans / with the vegan spelling on it came in, but also this emphasis on nutrition and diet. Because digestion plays a role in manifestation. And in this new paradigm, there's an understanding that wants to come through right now. We don't have to co-opt and hack our physical health to be an energetic match for bliss. Ooh, that is a controversial statement. Okay. But, that's what's coming through. So we're just going to run with it. That's controversial. Oh, yeah, that is. In all kinds of circles. But anyway, little reader, go down. Spirit, come up. There's like toggling volumes over here. The masters of manifestation in our current paradigm, in our new paradigm, which is current, say this. The more time you spend nourishing your heart by discovering what makes your heart center open, what makes your heart center activate, what makes your heart center come alive, 305, and just pulse with joy. The discovery of this is going to guide the rest of your body. It's going to be the sonar or radar or whatever that little thing is that bloops, bloop, bloop, and sends out messages to other things. It both sends out and receives information. I don't know if that's sonar or radar. or both or neither. One's related to sound, one's related to visuals. You get me. The heart is in charge. So it is now up to our other chakras and our other senses to direct attention toward it. When it comes to digestion, the function of digestion is to take information out of food. And in a primal time, let's rewind thousands of years, when the root chakra was the center of our being. And I don't mean it was located in the center. I just mean that red energy is where all the emphasis was. Everything happened through primal means. Selecting food, the reason we selected the food we selected was to get the primal building blocks for our DNA. It was root chakra primal stuff. Then eventually we built up to sacral chakra. Then we went to solar plexus chakra world, which is where we just were, in solar plexus chakra land. And now we're in heart chakra land as beings and for the purpose of manifestation. Now we are looking at nourishment as what intelligence is in this meal or this food that is going to activate a specific emotional state in my heart. It is a huge paradigm shift from where we've been, because Earth Star through solar plexus chakra is all about the dense. It is much more about primal building blocks and what can be quantified physically under a microscope and seen with our available technology. As soon as you pass the threshold into the heart chakra land, which is where we are now for manifestation and everything else that we're experiencing as a species, as soon as you pass that threshold, you are operating on a more subtle plane. And what you are extracting is no longer quantifiable with a microscope. It's not about your macros anymore, baby. It's not about your fats and your proteins and your carbs. It's not about counting the calories or the quality of the food. And I'm not saying, I'm not going to tell you what I'm not saying. I'll tell you what Spirit's saying. It's not about letting the mind intellectualize what is a good source of nutrition anymore. It is about letting the heart intuitively and instinctively understand what source of emotion needs to be activated to put a puzzle piece into the heart's functioning, to get a gear going, to complete a question, to close a chapter, to invigorate the engine. And you may be surprised at what types of nutrition you are geared toward. Let's just say that, because the mind intellectually is going to be like health or something. And that's not everyone's priority. I fully recognize that. The mind also might be like, I usually have my ice cream cone sundae every Sunday at 7 p.m., triple scoop. And now I want a Caesar salad? Or now I want a green smoothie? Like what? Follow that. Whether it takes you this way or that way, trust the heart. This is the breakthrough here, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, is that all of your choices now are in service to the heart, bowing down to the heart. And if words like heart activation or heart chakra opening don't mean anything to you right now, please comment that down below, because we can go through a whole educational seminar on how to activate the heart chakra. It's a game changer, it's a life changer, it's a world changer, it's a paradigm shifter. So let me know. But I get a sense that a lot of people here and a lot of people who are magnetized to this energy already know what I mean when I say heart chakra opening. They're like, oh, that makes sense. So that's why X, Y, and Z. Okay, got it. And I think that's the moment we're having right now. So, new manifestation paradigm says our solar plexus chakra is no longer the boss when it comes to manifestation. We have moved to the heart chakra. And as a result, coming to the edge has been confusing because we're like, I'm so used to doing or not doing so much more or less. But now you know, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, that everything you do or don't do, whether that's choosing to go out and socialize for an evening with friends, the question you need to ask now is not, well, will that put me closer to my manifestation and the frequency that I'm supposed to be in? The question you should ask is that something that my heart wants to do? When you put up a boundary, the question you should ask now isn't putting up this boundary like I do that because I'm supposed to do that. Like I put up this boundary so people take me seriously and they respect me because boundaries are important. The question we ask now is, am I putting up this boundary as an act of self-love because that's what my heart wants? It's a big old shift. But if you think about it in terms of I'm no longer letting my solar plexus chakra be the center of my being, not because it wants to or because that's like a horrible thing. It's just no longer an efficient thing because our energy, our consciousness as a collective has moved en masse to the heart chakra, to the heart center. So it's a much more efficient, and I get the sense, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, that you're all about efficiency. Much more efficient to start asking and making every decision in your life centered around the heart chakra. This is leading to massive expansion. My goodness, if you could see the planet now versus what the planet looked like, it's a huge thing. And you are leading the charge, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, by doing this. So thank you. I thank you and thank you and thank you. That is the lesson from the masters of manifestation in this new paradigm. So let's look in the tarot and see if there's anything extra to be delivered. Anything else to be delivered, Spirit, for my beautiful Bloodstone crew about the new manifestation paradigm. Answers to any questions they may be asking internally. Whoops. Woo. Any questions they may be asking internally that we can intuit and answer for them, please, Spirit. What do you want my beautiful Bloodstone crew to know? All right. I'm hearing this is the story. Is it about a man named Brady who was something, 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 something? Okay, don't know what that is, but thank you for that. Let's make sure we're in frame. Yeah, it's looking pretty in-framey to me. So we're starting out with our Four of Cups. Let's see, what is the question? What's the story here? Ten of Wands, Six of Cups, Five of Pence, Two of Cups, and Five of Wands. Beautiful. Okay, so it's the same story, not about a man named Brady, but about solar plexus co-option. Yes, we did just make that up. Hope you liked it as much as I did. If Spirit can coax you to gently turn away from doing or taking your hands off the wheel in either direction, that is what Spirit would like you to coax, or would like to coax you toward. We have common problems and their antidotes represented here. Doing too much, doing not enough, and then inner conflict as a whole. And this is represented by Wands and Pentacles. Spirit is saying it will always be too much or never enough when we're coming from a place of should or should not. So let me say that again. It will always be too much or never enough when we're coming from a place of should or shouldn't. Should or shouldn't are words that come from a judgment call. And a judgment call is not made from the heart. The heart doesn't make judgment calls like that. Instead, the heart magnetizes naturally toward its electromagnetic match. It's frequency match. It's energy match. And when I say naturally, I really do mean naturally, my beautiful Bloodstone crew. I mean, this is not something that we've got to intellectualize and say, okay, so frequencies. So that means like I need to be aligning with the frequency of like abundance and travel and money and stuff. No, that's a should or a should not. You see? The I need to or the I should be doing is this 10 of Wands energy or this 5 of Wands energy. Both, actually. Or this 5 of Pentacles energy, where it's a should or a shouldn't is coming from a I don't have this thing, so I need to get it. And amazingly, the mind is so good at disguising that fear. The mind is so good at disguising fear because the mind's a genius. Let's give it up for the mind. Hey, love you, mind. You're good mind. Gotta pat my head real quick because I really am so grateful for my mind. But there's a reason that the heart is in charge. Because the heart has wisdom, whereas the mind is a reflector of forms. The mind simply reflects frequencies in form. The heart generates frequencies. Woo! So, the mind is very adept at getting us to do things out of fear and then disguising those things as not fear. The simple truth of the matter is, however, if you ever feel like you should or shouldn't be doing something, that is a gift to you from fear. And yeah, fear is great, but it's an old technology. Love is the new tech. Love is the direction we're going into. So we've got two antidotes. We've got our 6 of Cups and our 2 of Cups as antidotes to this should mentality. Should or shouldn't mentality. Anytime you get to thinking, I should be doing this or I shouldn't be doing this, Spirit would like you to say, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Even if it is sit here and pick my nose and watch Outlander. I'm not revealing where that inspiration came from. For the next 2 hours, then that is what you're doing, baby. Because that is what your heart wants. And in the words of Selena Gomez, the heart wants what it wants, baby. Now, separate sidebar conversation we can have at another time. What if the heart wants to commit an atrocity against somebody? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Don't let your heart guide you in the direction of violating anyone else's consent or free will. Great, glad we got that out of the way. Let the heart guide you toward the heart's ever-expanding need to evolve. The heart is growing bigger by every second. And when I say the heart, I mean the millions of hearts on this planet. All of our hearts are expanding. That is precisely why the aura of Earth is so much bigger. That's why suddenly all these extra dimensional beings are much louder, because suddenly our frequency and our collective frequency combined is once again like a beacon to greater consciousness. And when I say greater, I don't mean superior. I just mean more subtle, more expanded, with the capacity to hold more love. Long story short, your heart's trying to get bigger and expand. We can't judge what it wants. That goes back to the bowl of spinach and the mac and cheese example. Let's use other scandalous examples. You should do exercise, you heard, so that you can stay lean and stuff. Or you should take the sugar out of your coffee so that also you can stay lean. Interesting, big emphasis on body perception here in this crew. And may I just say, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, you're absolutely phenomenal. And I'm so proud of you. I see you. I know what you're up to. With a little fine tuning, this is a big healing moment because all it's going to take is a little bit of understanding and reception of this energetic transmission, and you're going to be off and running on your new path. Way off the edge, but in the best way. So I can see these many micro moments in your daily life where shoulds take over. And it's like you've cultivated this regimen that you may be really proud of too, because you're like, look at all my self-control. But the heart is like, eh. Or in some cases, you might be like, I have no self-control. And the heart's also like, eh, because the heart wants to be in charge. So if your manifestation puzzle piece, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, is to let the heart take the wheel. Let the heart take the wheel. This 2 of Cups and this 6 of Cups is all about generously giving. It's about being simpatico, on the same page with something. And in this case, it is you with your heart. It is the romance between you and your heart. I want you to now think of your heart as your new lover. And your job is to get intimate with that baby. Like, you be writing love letters to your heart. You be exploring your heart. You be asking your heart questions. You be saying in every micro moment, okay, for the past 3 years, I've been taking the sugar out of my coffee because I really thought, that was like good for my teeth and stuff. And good teeth are important. But also like no sugar because I don't like sugar. Whatever. Like maybe there are a whole bunch of reasons why there was no sugar in the coffee. And suddenly you have this moment of realization where when you drink coffee with sugar in it, pause on all of the solar plexus reasons why that may not be a good idea and all the intellectual reasons. You feel your heart open and soar because there is some emotional intelligence in that substance that when combined with your body and alchemized together, it raises your vibration. Who would have thought that putting sugar in your coffee would do that? But do you get what I'm saying with this example? Where we're going with this is to say, this is a judgment-free zone from here on out, baby. No more judgment on my beautiful Bloodstone crew. So Bloodstone mind, if you want to repeat this with me, by all means you may. We're going to just do a brief repeat after me in which we say the following. I hereby give permission to my glorious, wise heart to draw me in the direction of my greatest manifestations and experiences fueled by love. And I humbly ask that my mind recognizes our heart as our leader. Woo! You don't have to do the shout, but I really recommend it. Well done, my beautiful Bloodstone crew. I am so proud of you. So that is where we are leaving today's download and lesson and excitement on the new manifestation paradigm, wisdom for the new paradigm. It's been an absolute pleasure channeling with you and your guides and the masters of this manifestation paradigm. I am wishing you all the love, all the success. May your heart take the lead. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you'd like a key to the Little Reader's House to come back for more incredible downloads, please subscribe. And as usual, your comments are not just welcome, they are adored. And I make it a point to, at some point, respond to every single one. So, yeah, play with me. And until we meet again, my beautiful Bloodstone crew, I'm sending you all the love I got. Bye for now. Hello, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew, and welcome to your reading on the secrets and advice and wisdom and missing puzzle pieces of the new manifestation paradigm. I don't know for sure if that's what we're calling this thing, but as of this moment, that is it. So welcome. Thank you for being here. It has been, oh my goodness, an exciting and wild is maybe not the word that I would use, but insightful. It's been insightful. Couple of crews so far. So I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to see what's what. I'm feeling your energy already and the wisdom that's coming through. I keep hearing the word mastery. So let's see where that goes. I'm going to set you right over here and we're going to get started. But before I do that, you know what I've got to do. I've got to let you know that you are so worthy of love above all else, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. And however you found this video, how you stumbled into this world, and I don't think you stumbled for the record, I'm pretty sure you flew in like a graceful badass. I'm honored to be in your presence because you are love, you are worthy of love, you are worthy of reverence and honor and to be seen and known. And it's a pleasure to share space and co-create with you. So thank you a million. Now, in peace, I can set you down right over here. Let's take a peeky-weeky at your card from, oh my goodness, I've had to look at the box every single time, which is hilarious because you think it'd be sticking, but no. It's Notes from the Universe on Abundance by Mike Dooley. Yes, I think I just like to look at the box because it's a beautiful box. But you got this gorgeous picture, which reminds me of a postcard. And let's see what wisdom's on the back. Oh, okay, here we go. Ever wonder why some of those who achieve incredible success, amass fortunes, and enjoy sizzling relationships seem so unlikely? It's because intelligence, looks, even creativity come in a distant second place to believing. Achievers achieve because they believed they could and followed up with consistent baby steps. And so the heavens and earth were moved. I believe in you, the universe. Woo! I love it. Okay, that's invigorating. Let's take a look at your energy check, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. We'll pull it in. I was going to say I haven't seen it yet, but I think I saw your Wisdom of the Oracle card earlier. Yes, the never-ending story. I know that's not how the song goes, right? Never-ending story, or is it? Da, 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 da. I don't know, but that is where you are and the obstacle and challenge that you are facing at this moment. Let us see your Mystic Martian card. Ooh, the solution. Earth, survival, adaptable, reliable. It's the element of earth. This is amazing because the element of earth is all about those consistent baby steps. And also we see, so the heavens and earth were moved. The never-ending story. So also 2 + 8 reduces to 1. 3 + 7 reduces to 1. So that could be obviously 1, number 1, you, looking out for number 1. And also 11 together. So it's the magic of, and the alchemy of individual effort over time, consistency, individual power as well. I'm sensing in you, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew, a measure of burnout here. And you're in the perfect place to be because in the new manifestation paradigm, there is no burnout. Burnout's actually impossible because first things first, the new manifestation paradigm is all about the heart. It is the center of the body that we are now functioning through and from more than ever before in our consciousness. And it is also the new manifestation central, whereas the solar plexus chakra used to be in charge of manifestation largely. Now it is moved, our consciousness has moved and raised to the heart chakra, the heart center. So it's a lot less about actions, in fact, next to not at all about actions, and much more about aligning with our heart's direction, whatever direction it gives us. So in the old paradigm, it was absolutely possible to get burned out, and people got burned out all the time and over all sorts of things. With the solar plexus chakra, the understanding broadly is that it's all about doing and actions. So people were getting burned out by doing too much. People were getting burned out by doing too little. Even this card, which references, in some cards it references the old paradigm and in others the new. There's a lot of wisdom in this deck. Even this is referencing achievers who believed they could and followed up with consistent baby steps. That's very solar plexus chakra E paradigm. And it certainly was what was pushed for a long time in the manifestation narrative, which is believe it, believe it. Force yourself to believe it, darling. You've got to believe that you can do what you want. While that's true, where's the lie? There's no lie, baby. Our shift is away from the technology of brainwashing ourselves into inspiration. And now it is simply following and generating and finding opportunities for inspiration. Because my dear Tibetan Quartz crew, the opposite of burnout is inspiration. The antidote to burnout is inspiration. So if you have been feeling like this never-ending story card in which this beautiful fairy looks like she's done. She's given up. And interestingly, there's a heart underneath this hourglass. In this hourglass, there's a heart which says, yes, no, love, on, yes. Oh, so it's like on, off, yes, no. It's this compass, the heart compass is all over the place. Your message here is simple, it's sweet, and it's powerful as can be. It's that we've got to inspire you. Your lesson today is about the power of inspiration in manifestation. So let's channel. Let's see what comes through the masters of manifestation. These masters are interdimensional beings. They are what some would quantify as alien races. They are the Akashic records itself. They are wisdoms from humans who have lived, in some cases famous and in other cases not famous, lifespans and left messages, kind of like voicemail messages, in the ether that we can reach out and grab now that we have this new vibrational, I want to say achievement. It's right there, achievement, but it's not an achievement. It is a natural byproduct of our evolution. It's an activation. That's what it is. So 2 terms I want you to think of, my beautiful, or think in terms of my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. Going from actions based on obligation to seeking inspiration. And going from the concept of achievement to the concept of activation. I'm going to pull out your tarot right away, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew, and see what's different about your message, because it's like a hybrid between my Danburite crew and my Bloodstone crew, but I know that there's something else here. So using the Antique Anatomy Tarot, we are going to see what it is that Spirit and these masters want you to know. Oh, the first thing they're saying is the importance of silence. Interesting. So while my Danburite and Bloodstone crews were very, very wordy, you've got this importance of silence, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. And it makes sense with the Tibetan Quartz because there is an essence of meditation, mantra, peace and stillness that is coming through as a medicine for you. So we may be doing some less talking here and more listening. Mm-hmm. We want my Tibetan Quartz Crew to know, Spirit. Okay, there we go. And I'm getting a smell, like a sulfurous smell, which is interesting. We'll see what the origin of that is and how that plays into the story. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's make some room because I know we have more room, but I gotta peep the frame and see where we can get visible here. There we go. I see what I see. Whoop. And I see you, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz Crew. All right, perfect. So let's chitty chat. Let's chitty chat for a moment, but let's do it from a new space. So we'll breathe. Let's take 3 deep breaths in before you launch off. We'll start by exhaling all the air out of our lungs and taking a deep breath in through the nose. And holding it for just a moment, then creating a small O with our lips and breathing it slowly out through our mouth. Another deep breath in through the nose. And create a small O with your lips and breathe out through your mouth. And our last one, deep breath in through our nose. And exhale through that small hole in your lips. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So you, my glorious Tibetan Quartz Crew, are actually a rather effortless manifester. And it's interesting because you may have come to this reading thinking, well, no, you came to this reading because you're keenly aware of the missing puzzle piece. And it is the question, why can I manifest things and experiences so easily, but I'm not manifesting emotionally fulfilling things? I see here with the 2 of blades, the 3 of coins, the 6 of coins, and the ace of blades, which would be our ace of swords. Swords are blades, coins are pence. That when it comes to manifestation, you are an individual who's in a relatively stable place, what people would describe as a stable place. And you know how to get things, the world, using your typical modes of operation. You're a keen decision maker. You've got a strong intellect. You often know what you want to experience, what you want to see, and what you want to feel. And with the King of Coins, I believe that you do this on a material basis very easily. So you could be an individual who's working your dream job already. You could be an individual who makes exactly as much money as they need, or maybe even more than they need, to enjoy, to go around the world, to have your fun travels and do your things. If this is not you, then you may fit into another crew, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz, because this individual, this energy that's coming through you, is somebody who puts the consistent baby steps forward already, all the time, have been doing so for a while, had maybe even what some would call the good fortune of landing into work and a world that they enjoy kind of early on, or at least making that for themselves. And I'm not so sure that you ever were concerned with the concept of manifestation. There are folks who are manifestation aficionados, and they know all the rules and all the lingo about vision boards and life vision and juicy life. And I may not be one of the individuals who knows all the lingos, but they know all the gurus. That I do know, but we're not name dropping today. They know all the folks, they know all the people. I don't know that you're a manifestation guru, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. I don't think that you think of manifestation as a process so much as you simply do what you consider the work, which is this earth stable element. You show up, you get things done, you do your best, and then things tend to typically fall in line for you. Typically, you make the money. Typically, you have the travels. Typically, you have pretty good clarity and pretty good symbiosis between what you want and what you get. What you want and what you get. And that's amazing. I applaud you for that, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. It is delicious. You have... This is why I was hearing mastery. Follow me off the chair, except I'm already on the floor. Benefits of a floor. So you actually mastered, and I'm hearing major sirens outside, which always cracks me up when it gets very still inside of my space and then very loud outside. It's like special emphasis here. You've already mastered that solar plexus thing, possibly in a past life. You are one of those people that people look at and go, oh, they got it figured out, and they got it figured out pretty young too. That's nice. You beat us. And you've had to wait for a while for this heart activation, because you figured out that solar plexus thing pretty quickly about putting in the work, knowing how to balance what you do and what you don't do, letting your gut kind of guide. You mastered the last paradigm of manifestation. It's this new one where you're like, what? Doesn't seem to come as naturally right away. That could be because of your star sign. That could be because of your chart, your destiny, all the things, genetic or generational. There are a million reasons why that could be, but simply your soul's journey was to experience this major heart awakening now. So let's do a little repeat after me moment, my Tibetan Quartz crew, and activate this in you. And all of a sudden, things are going to be making a whole lot more sense once we do this. So if you would, if you're willing, please feel free to repeat after me. I give complete permission to my heart to guide my path. I understand that my heart's wisdom surpasses my intellect's knowing. I now choose to activate my heart center to its fullest capacity. And so it is. Oh yeah, welcome in, Tibetan Quartz crew. Welcome in. You are so powerful. So here's what I'm seeing for you. And I feel all kinds of, we're going to let it flow. I feel little reader conflicts inside because I like, intellectually, and maybe you and I are similar like this, everyone's readings to be kind of the same length and everyone to get the same amount of attention and all the things. But your message is very clear, very straightforward. Your new piece of evolution is in trusting your heart's directives. So you've been wondering, why do I feel, I'm just going to say it. Why do I feel dead inside? Why do I feel dead inside? Why are the trips and the things that used to excite me, the cars, the material objects, even the rendezvous, even the friendships, why am I dead inside? Like, why do I feel like none of this is bringing me the kind of satisfaction that I know is possible, or I suspect is possible? Because there are moments and there are things and there are people that you touch or you get around, or in nature, I'm getting that you get that nature is big for you. In nature, you feel alive, but you're like, okay, but I'm all by myself and I'm talking to this tree, or like I'm having this moment. Maybe you're out there golfing or something and it's all great, but then I go back to my life that I've worked hard for and that I've created, and I feel dead inside. What's up with that? Put very simply, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew, you manifested a life. I'm not going to say it was effortless because I know you put effort into it, and I applaud you. I applaud you and I salute you for the way you did it so beautifully. Is you manifested a life, you created it, you did things by the book. In most cases, you did it with integrity. But it was in the old paradigm. So that life, what I need you to understand, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew, is that life is not going to feel the way you want it to feel because it was built on old rules, on old laws. And we're new now. We're elsewhere now. We've expanded, we've climbed up, and so have you. You are with us. You are not alone. That is an important message for you. You are not alone. You are not the hermit all by yourself. You've got a community of people starting right here in the little readers community, but you've got a community of people across the globe, far and beyond our group. We could just say every human being who has joined you in this heart activation. And you're not alone in feeling like sad because doing everything the way you were supposed to do it didn't give you the feeling. It didn't. There's like a Carly Rae Jepsen song or something that's like, I want to skip to the feeling. That's come up before in another reading. Yeah, I want to skip to the feeling. You're like, you don't want to skip. You just thought that by doing these things, you'd get it. And here's the deal. You are going to get it. You are going to get it, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. And you're going to love the process. You're going to love the journey. It starts right now, right here. You're activated. You're ready. Here is what Spirit wants you to know. You're going to be making new decisions now. And you're going to be faced with situations that you've been in before. Well, we see it here with this Two of Blades. You'll be in these situations that you've been in before, but you're going to have the opportunity to make a new decision. And Spirit is encouraging you to make the decision from your heart. You are so good at the survivable, adaptable, reliable, like the baby steps, the doing things, making the smart choice, making the intellectually approved of choice, like green light from my mind. My mind says, yes, this is a safe option. But now Spirit is saying, all right, baby, we're Scottish or something. We've got to make a decision from your heart. And that is going to be all over the place. Here's what's coming for you, baby. New situations that you're going to be put in. Well, actually, same situations with an opportunity for a new decision in work, in travel, in love, in friendship, in experience, even in nature. you're lining up for, and I can see it like 9 doors. 9 doors. And this is interesting because this gets back to 1. And I said earlier, looking out for number 1. And now I see. These doors in front of you are going to open, and you have the opportunity to go through them, go through these doors, and then pivot off to the direction you've always gone, or pivot off to a heart-based direction that activates love. Love. Because what you're looking for, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew, is love. You are looking for love, baby. And, oh my goodness, this song, looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love. You're looking for love, but you're not in the wrong places. You've never been in the wrong places. You've just been making your decisions according to an old paradigm of manifestation. Now you'd like to manifest love. You want to manifest feeling good, feeling seen, feeling revered, being respected. You've matured so much, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. You've matured like, whoa, beyond. You're not the same person you were anymore. So you're looking around at your environment to reflect that to you. And it is going to reflect that to you as you courageously make decisions from your heart center. So for your manifestations, for your manifestation of a life of love, what Spirit wants you to know, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew, and what the masters of manifestation want you to know is choose courageously in the direction that your heart wants. Now, this means it's time to start listening to your heart. I do believe you can hear your heart, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. I just think you're also really good at ignoring it. Really good. Like your heart may say, yes, go. Talk to them. And you say, where did I put my beer? I need to go get it. And you turn in the opposite direction. And you tell yourself, your mind tells your heart, don't worry, they'll still be there when we get back from this little side quest. But your mind knows full well, and so does your heart, that they're not going to be there. And when you get back to the room, they've left. And the moment for that conversation, for that expression of your truth, is over. And the heart puts his head down, sad. We're in the business now of not just listening to our heart, but acting on it. The manifestations, you're already great. That's the thing, especially on paper, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. You're the one who would argue with me and say, no, I'm not great yet because I don't feel the way I want to feel. And I totally get you. I know what you're talking about. But I'm saying on paper, the outside world looks at you and is like, what are you doing? Like, why are you complaining, quite frankly? Why are you not smiling? Why are you looking so numb? Why do you look sad and depressed? I understand what you're saying, though, my Tibetan Quartz crew, because I'm inside of your energy field right now. So I know. But on paper, you're great. And you kind of have that working against you. Because it may create an attachment that you don't want to lose what you've built and what other people see in you. But here's the thing. You're not going to lose that. And by taking courageous action in the direction of your heart, not only are you not going to lose anything of value, you stand to gain so much. When I say taking action in the direction of your heart, I mean when you're at that party, you go talk to that person. I mean, when you're in a meeting, you share the unpopular but accurate opinion and then solution that you've been thinking on forever, but just haven't wanted to make the waves. When I say follow your heart, I mean you spend your evenings working on that hobby which you've told yourself is a waste of time because you have no talent at it. When I say you follow your heart, I mean when somebody in a social gathering asks if anyone likes or has interest in some niche thing that you like and have interest in, you pipe up and say, you bet your sweet booty I do. That's me, I like it. When I say follow your heart courageously, I mean don't just take a trip for the sake of trips. Take the trip that scares the shit out of you because you know your generational ancestors come from there and there's history there that you haven't been wanting to look at. Courageously going in the direction of your heart means doing all the things that you have shelved or hidden or talked yourself out of, or even more likely told yourself that you would one day do when you were ready. Guess what? You're ready today. Today, you're ready. Today marks the day that you are ready. So now the manifestation secret that you get is so simple. It's that your heart is going to take you to where you want to go. Your heart is going to take you. So learn to follow its direction. I know you can hear it because you kind of look at it as a red flag, which cracks me up. Your heart is a green flag. Your heart is very green. It's also got green in it. Like, that's why we chose all the green for today's reading, because Spirit wants to make it clear that the deep part of the heart, which has this beautiful emerald green color, is now responsible for all of our manifestations. So if you truly want, and I know you do, so let me rephrase this. It's amazing. We have like this, the amount of ambulances going by outside is unprecedented. They've just been going and going for like 10 minutes straight. But this is like an urgent, immediate conversation. You are ready. So what awaits you is this. You choose your heart. You see the future that feels good is going to be the one that is the result of courageous moves. Courage. Courage is your message. Courageously following your heart. Courageously speaking your truth. This internal conflict that's been here, that tells me you've often diverted from the path of the heart because you said you'd get to it later. You're like, there'll be time for all that heart stuff later. But for now, I'm like building my foundation. You know, I'm sensible. I'm checking things off on the page. In this new paradigm, that approach won't work. And you already knew that. That's why you're here. In this new paradigm, what works is radical bravery. Is going to all of those things you've shelved. Like I said, and I'm saying it again, so it must be extra important, is going to all of those things you've shelved and pulling them off the shelf and devoting yourself to them with the same order and the same consistency that you devoted to all of the things that the world told you you should do to be successful. Now it's time to become yourself. Now it's time to let your quirkiness out. It's time to let parts of you don't even know are there yet out. It's time to discover yourself, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. It's time to know thyself, to get to know you and be you and tap into you and free you. Because your next level is here. You thought you were successful with what you've got in the bank now? You thought you were successful with your cool car? You thought you were successful with your awesome career, and at your age too. Woo-hoo. You just wait. Because if you follow your heart, if you're turned on by the idea of success, let me get you going. If you follow your heart, you're going to see what you are capable of, what your essence is capable of. This is a true self-love story. This is loving yourself enough to believe that even if you don't have the supposed talent, which I don't think is true, but let's just go with what's in the brain. Even if you don't have the talent, even if you don't have the inspiration, even if you don't have the this, that, and the other, if you just follow your heart and start to uncork it a little bit. We start small with the Page of Cups here, the Page of Elixirs as it's called in this deck, and we just uncork. Next thing you know, you're going to want to spend a little bit of time doing this thing or talking to that person or, dabbling. You dip your toe in there. But then it's going to grow and 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 it's going to grow. And before you know it, your wealth and your abundance is going to have multiplied, because in this new paradigm, you are materially rewarded for doing what you love and for following the heart. And it hasn't always been that way, but that's how it is now. And you can take full control of that, maximize, capitalize on it, and enjoy a life that feels as good as it looks. You hear me? Feels as good as it looks. Because you deserve that. You are so worthy of that, my beautiful Tibetan Quartz crew. And I love you with all of my heart. That is where we are leaving it today. I've drilled the message home in every way I know how, and I know you get it, because you're genius and you're brilliant. So I'm sending you all the love I've got. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want a key to the Little Reader's house, come back anytime. Subscribe, because there's so much more to come. And comments. Oh my goodness. Comment everything. Your life story, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. I love to read them. I love to respond to them. And I love you. So until we meet again, beautiful soul. Bye for now. Hello, my beautiful Fluorite crew, and welcome to your reading on, oh my goodness, I don't even know what it's going to be called yet, but it's like the insights or the advice or the secrets or something about the new manifestation paradigm. You know what it is, though, because we talked about it in the intro, and hopefully a title came through that was super clear, and that's what you saw. So I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. It has been a revivifying and inspiring and wild reading so far. And I have no intellectual idea of what is to come here. I just know that I'm excited and privileged to be in your energy, my beautiful Fluorite crew. I want you to get a good look at this stone because it is stunning. Can you see? Can we get the light on there? Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay. I'm going to set you down right over here. But before I do that, you know what I have to say. I have to say that you're so worthy of love above all else, that you're magnetic, attractive, quite literally attractive, like attracting that which you desire into your reality, that you're beautiful, that you're a radiant soul, that you add so much to our world, and you're just worthy of all the great things that you dream of. And I love you so much. So thank you for being here. And now I can set you down in peace. This is a card from Mike Dooley's Notes from the Universe. Notes from the Universe. Yes, on abundance, I believe it's called. I was trying to do that without peeking, but I had to peek just to make sure. And it is so fun. It has some messages from the old paradigm, some from the new, and it works perfectly to help us integrate both what we know about manifestation and the old tech and the new tech, what's here now in the fifth dimension, what we're working with, how it works, what the magic is. So let's see what your note is. I haven't peeped it yet, but I cannot wait. Ooh! Today, you are a magnet for infinite abundance, divine intelligence, and unlimited love. Actually, this has always been true. Rock on, the universe. I love that. And didn't we say you were attractive, like literally attracting things in? You are a magnet, my beautiful Fluorite crew. I absolutely love that. I've got an energy check sitting over here. Whoop. And I haven't seen it yet. I just know that you got 2 mystical Martian cards and everybody else only got 1. So can't wait to see what that is. Let's see. Can we make the room? Yeah, we'll have room. So let's start with your Wisdom of the Oracle card, Here and Now. Whoa, this goes exactly with this. Today you are a magnet for infinite abundance, divine intelligence, and unlimited love. Actually, this has always been true. Here and now. Love it. This card was meant to be whatever obstacle you might be facing in your manifestation process. And here are your solutions in the form of mystic Martians. We've got the Kabbalah Tree of Life, which is integration, life lessons, and emanation. Wow. And we've got, whoa, Alchemy, the Philosopher's Stone, infinity, destiny, and magic. Holy moly, and look at all the greens and blues that are coming through here. So what is this energy check, Spirit? Let me hold you in my hand and take in your energy, my beautiful Fluorite Crew. I can't help but notice how the colors of your stone also complement each of these cards so well. And the fact that I chose a green backdrop and green everything today out of an instruction from Spirit that manifestation is taking place from the deepest center of the heart, which represents this kind of emerald green color. But you've got green all over the place and blue. So it's definitely our most heart-centric energy today. Okay, I will stop talking and just feel it out. You also didn't get any extra dimensional beings in your cards on either one, and you had 2 chances. Fascinating. Because you are the extra dimensional being, because you are not human. Actually, I think there's some truth in that. And here's the message that's coming through. It's for both of us, the little reader too. It's a confirmation of what you already know. It's this, you're a powerful being, my beautiful Fluorite Crew. And we're going to channel this and pipe it in straight from Spirit and from the masters of manifestation in this new paradigm, which includes other beings, other spirits, the Akashic records, and so much. But you are an incredibly powerful being. And I felt your energy before, particularly recently. You have, interestingly, very closely integrated your higher self with your third dimensional self. And I suspect you're an individual who spends time flip-flopping between various dimensions. So you spend time in the third dimension, yo, hey, hi, hello, we're here together. But you also go up to the 5th dimension and even higher sometimes in dreams, meditations, or just your, I'm hearing shamanic journeys. You may identify as and I just heard this beautiful term from a lovely soul a few days ago, a sorcerer or a sorceress. You may identify as a druid, a witch, a warlock, a shaman, a mystic. Because what I'm seeing here is your third eye is wide open and there is deep, deep integration between you, your past selves, and your higher selves. There's just, integration is the word here. And with fluorite, we see there's this green, but also this beautiful purple. So we've got our third eye and our heart very locked in with one another. Spirit's message for you is about being patient. It's a confirmation. You don't need the lesson. You need a conversation. And you need a friend to hold space with. And I am more than happy, honored actually, to be that individual, to hold space with a powerful being such as yourself who is, I'm hearing, sisters are doing it for themselves, which I love. But you don't have to be a sister. You can be a mister. You can identify anyway. With the here and now card, this is where the patience is coming through for me. I feel that you've been, here's what I'd say, trend-setting. You've been trend-setting. You may also be a reader. Oh, I just realized this tiny little pink tourmaline got left out when I was working with stones, and I just saw it right now. So I'm going to pop it in here with us. You are a trendsetter. You are a heart liver. You're not a heart liver like liver the organ, but an individual who lives through their heart. And that can be a lonely road, especially when you're setting that trend, baby. When you're leading the charge, people look at you like you're crazy. The world doesn't know how to respond to you. You might be broke, I'm hearing, because when you lead the charge from the heart, especially going through the old paradigm where the solar plexus was largely responsible for much of our manifestation power, if not all of it, now we've entered this realm where the heart chakra is the center of our manifestation power. We've up-leveled it. But the world has been built on that solar plexus attitude of do, 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 do. What's solid? What looks good on paper? What action plus effort equals results? So you were living, and I referenced you earlier in another crew. I'm not sure which one, but I was referencing people who have set the trend of this and helped bring this wave of consciousness in. You were living as that heart-centered individual. I said some people are before their time. And I was talking about you, my beautiful Fluorite Crew. You have been before your time for so long, it makes me want to cry. In fact, I might just cry because I know what that feels like. And I can feel it in you. Even if I didn't have little reader experience in it, I have your experience that I'm actively sensing. And oh, the road, my love, of being... It's not just being the weird one. There's something else to it. It almost feels as if you've been purposefully isolated. And in some ways, you have. Of course, by your higher self. It's you isolating you to encourage you to dip more into you. But it doesn't make it feel any better. You know what I'm saying? So Spirit recognizes that and is like, oh, my beautiful Fluorite Crew, thank you for being this courageous, brave trendsetter who has been walking the path of the heart for so long. And when I said you might be broke earlier, I meant it. I mean that you're an individual who has courageously chosen in the direction of your heart and putting your energy into your heart's guidance for probably as long as you can remember. Probably started out as a very sensitive child, maybe had some traumas that kind of peeled away layers of the onion that surrounds the heart and revealed that gem, that shining emerald in there. And it made you more like, I must follow it. I must follow this. This is my lantern. This is my guiding light. And you did. And the thing is, as I mentioned before, Earth hasn't been cultivated, and there's another word there, not catalyzed, hasn't been calibrated to reward this type of life with abundance, with monetary worth, with much, honestly. Earth wasn't calibrated for that. Again, you were ahead of your time, and there are a sprinkle of those folks on this planet who are always ahead of their time. Until their time arrives. Oh, full body chills, baby. Your time is now. My beautiful Fluorite Crew, this is a message from Spirit and from the masters of manifestation to tell you that your time is now. It hasn't always been now. So if you're like, hey, but time is always now. No, that's not what they mean. This is not like Eckhart Tolle, like, the present moment. All of that's fantastic, phenomenal love. That's not what is being conveyed here. What's being conveyed here is that in your past, your consciousness was honed and built to usher in another world, to usher in new laws of operating, new paradigms on this earth. And by following your heart bravely and courageously as you did as an alchemist, following that tree of life, bringing in all this energy, you served as a conduit for that new earth that we're in now. And it's now. It's here and now, as a matter of fact. And you will be richly rewarded for what you've done. Now, when I say there's a new earth here and now, we can take a moment. You can do this more easily than I can. I'm stuck to my seat here for a moment, but you can pick up this phone or, iPad, iPod, not a television. If you're watching on a TV, that's cool though. And you can walk yourself outside and look out there and you can see not a damn thing has changed. When I say new world, I don't mean that someone's going to stick a key in a lock and all of a sudden people who have not had money are going to have money, and it's like this savior thing and the saviors are going to come down and that's not what I mean. I don't mean that. When I say it's a new earth, I mean, if you could see it energetically, which I think you can, the way that consciousness has increased, the frequency of it, and the way that consciousness has moved into the heart center has given permission for new ways of functioning. It has activated millions of hearts on this planet. And as a result, the planet is more alive than it ever has been before. And the rules have changed. And here's how the rules have changed. The rules you've been playing by are now the rules that everyone gets to play by. It's going to take time for this to catch up. When I say time, I mean in some instances long time, in other instances short time. But Spirit doesn't want you to think about the world right now. This message is very specifically for you, my beautiful Fluorite Crew, to say that you've been a beacon and you're going to be rewarded for it if you stay the path. If you stay the path, if you stay courageous. Today, you are a magnet for infinite abundance, divine intelligence, and unlimited love. Actually, this has always been true. It has always been true. But I know that for you, see, you're an incredible soul, my beautiful Fluorite Crew, because you kept the faith and have kept it all these years, even when there was no visible sign of progress, that your dreams were manifesting. Nothing like that. But today, here and now, infinity, destiny, magic, today's your day. And it's so funny. I was just saying to my Tibetan Quartz crew, today was their day, but in a totally different context. I guess today is just a special day, and I am so okay with that. Today is your day. So Spirit, what else do you want me to tell my beautiful Fluorite Crew before we bust out the tarot? That you are so loved. So loved. And so many souls have gratitude for you. I'm one of them. But so many, they don't even know it. But when they say thank you and they express gratitude, they're sending energy back to you, sending energy to the source. Spirit sees how for so long, like a tree, you dropped your leaves all over so many people to help them out. You're like, here, you need a leaf. 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 And you've given so courageously and lovingly. And you did it in good faith, thinking that you were giving into the void and not having any problem with that. And Spirit is saying, you are not giving into the void. You are giving into a place that is now going to have insane returns. But you just didn't know it at the time. So this is kind of a story of R-E, reclamation, reinvigoration, redemption. It's a full circle moment. We see it here in this eyeball within an eyeball, and then there's the moon and the sun. This is quite an image. This full circle moment is that you're finally reaping what you've sown because you stuck it out and you've had the courage to stay. Oh, let me make sure you're in frame here. You've had the courage to stay and stick it out and be part of this world and continue to give fearlessly and show up and trust your heart You've been a trailblazer and a pilgrim, and you are so celebrated. So celebrated. So what's the peace, Spirit? What, for my beautiful Fluorite crew, what is the peace? Is to not lose faith. Don't lose faith. Keep the faith. Let's bring in the tarot. Let me set you down over here. What is your message for my beautiful Fluorite crew, Spirit? I know you want them to keep the faith, and I know that following their heart, they have an advanced intellectual and spiritual understanding of these concepts, which is wonderful. So what else do you want them to know? I'd love to see that Three of Cups popping out there. What else do you want them to know? Yeah, thanking them for the way that you've touched people, especially. That's something you don't realize, but you've touched millions of people because you've touched people who have touched people as a result of your touch. So you don't get it, but your ripple is huge. You don't understand it, but you are almost single-handedly, along with the other Fluorite crew members. Please comment, say hi to one another, give each other love down there, because you all need to know you're not alone, because this has been a lonely road. But you've touched millions of people. You've probably even touched one another. That little random act of kindness that you did, or letting that person stay in your house that one time, or smiling at someone who never gets smiled at when you were walking the campus. These are random things I'm seeing, images that I'm being shown. So many, too many. We could go on for hours about the little ways and the big ways you've helped people. When you gave money and expected nothing back. When you paid for someone's shelter for a night, didn't expect anything back. Volunteer work that you did. The friendly handshake you did. The work with animals that you do. Speaking well of someone behind their back when someone else spoke up, and you taught both people a lesson that day and you didn't even know it. Like, I'm telling you, there are hundreds of thousands of experiences we could go down, and Spirit's just saying, thank you. Thank you. You never asked for anything in return for any of that. You just did it because you had a heart full of love. And you're saying, and it's so funny, well, I don't even know where I got the heart full of love, and I didn't do anything like that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And you felt a lot of pain. You felt a lot of loneliness on this journey and wondered why. And it was because you were holding space for the pain and loneliness of people who weren't able to hold it for themselves. But now everyone's taking back their ownership in spades and creating so much room for positive emotions to flow. You don't have to be the caretaker or the keeper of anyone else's pain anymore. When it arises, you can say, I see you, I love you, send it off with love like you do. But you're going to see that arising so much less and so much less and so much less. And what's starting to arise now is what you've helped sow in this world. You came into a garden that was missing so many fruits, vegetables, trees, and flowers. And you said, I got it. I'm planting it. I'm planting it. I'm planting it. I'm planting it. And you've done that for years. And now it's all sprouted up. Now it's beyond sprouted up. It's giving shade. It's bearing fruit. And now it's time for you to return to that garden and start picking that succulent fruit off the tree and saying, thank you. That's my apple. Thank you. That's my daffodil. Thank you. That's my pansies. That's my fuchsias. That's my camellias. Thank you. That's my cherries. That's my blueberries. That's my cucumbers. Those are my melons. Yeah, we went there. But it's time for you to reap, actively reap. And what Spirit wants you to know before we even get out the cards, it's already coming through, is that now it's time to take and turn yourself into a receiver. You have been in giving mode for so long, my beautiful Fluorite crew. Do you even remember what it's like to be a taker? Let me help you remember. It's where you walk into the garden, you look at what you want, and then you go and take it. And that's what Spirit's saying it's time for you to do now. Now, turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit something. Hungry right now. I'll just let you know. Are you hungry too? Can we snack together? What you snacking on? Let me know in the comments. If I have some, I'll eat it in your honor. It's time to turn around and understand your new assignment. Okay? Your new assignment is to give to yourself. That's what taking is. So giving to others is fantastic. Giving to others is often taking away from yourself. Like when you exhale CO2, you're giving it to plants, but you're removing it from yourself. When you inhale back in your oxygen, you're taking it away from the plants, but you're giving it to yourself. So they're both honorable. That's what I'm trying to say and they're both the same in their own way. They're not separate from one another. But your new assignment is to start saying, how can I give to myself with the knowledge that it will look like taking away from others on the surface? But here's what you need to understand. And you've got the Kabbalah tree of life, so I don't know if you need to understand it, but I think you already do. But to put it into a vibration that we can mutually share, I will put it into words. You take an apple from a tree. You understand that that's a fruit that the tree is not going to do anything with, doesn't need to do anything with. That's the attitude to approach when taking what's yours now. Because you've created systems, going back to this garden, which is so funny. This tapestry is like a verdant forest, which I love. You've created this garden. Now it's time to go harvest your fruit. Go in there and take your apple, but don't feel like you're taking away from the tree. The tree can easily grow another apple. That's why you planted the tree there to begin with. Go into the garden, get your cucumber. Go into the garden, pick your camellias, pick your sunflowers. It's harvest time. That's the message here. And the word unapologetically is coming to mind because it is going to be done with an attitude of knowing your place. So it's always been true that you are a magnet. It's always been true that you're worthy. But now, here and now is the moment you step into that as a behavior, as an attitude. And this is what your heart wants. Your heart is the master of manifestation. For you, that's always been true. You've always known it, even when it wasn't being popularly discussed or even when that didn't match the narrative of manifestation. But you knew. Now it's time to continue honoring that and maybe double down on it or triple down on it a little. This means for a spiritual person like yourself, starting the day off with a communion with your heart, where for 10 minutes or so, you just open that space, you massage that space, and then you say, what can I go out and take for you today? What can I go out and get for you today? What can I go out and give to myself today for you? What fuel do you need? My heart. Because the heart's doing all the attracting, the heart's doing all the manifesting. You don't have to put images into it. You don't have to put visualizations and mantras into it unless they feel good in that moment. Naturally, not because you're doing it because it's a thing that you do. I think you already know this. If not, take a peek at Danburite Crew. But your assignment here and now is to feed your heart the fuel that it needs to replenish. There's that again. To reignite, to re-inspire. And your manifestations are going to show up in such a perfect sequence that I'd really like if you came back and commented it. If you remember, the thing is, you may get swept up in the new life, and you have every right to do that, and I celebrate you for it. I may still get a little inkling of what happens, but it's so fun when people come back and put it in the comments, or when I hear these stories from years after when it all came together and what that was like. Or, when you're up there, just wave and we'll know you're waving to us. Refuel, restock, refresh yourself, because what you're preparing for is the reaping, the harvest. And now you're going out into harvesting. This could mean on a very practical level, change your hair, change your wardrobe, because it's time. This could mean change your living situation or prepare for a new one. But in very practical terms, it's like, make sure you're feeding yourself, drinking plenty of water, communing with your heart every day. Then you go out into the world and you ask for what is yours. It may be time to ask for a promotion for some people. It may be time to ask for a raise, if not an actual change in your role in your company. It may be time to ask a person to be friends, or ask a person to be more than friends. It's taking proactive action. If it's not asking specific people, it's time to go out into a social environment and show up as yourself. And then when you meet someone of interest, people, whether it's platonic or romantic, you take the initiative to have that conversation. This is about following your heart's direction. So your heart's going to tell you where to go, and your heart's going to tell you who to talk to. You just walk up and you talk to them, and you make sure that you are rested and nourished and loved on at the start of every day, so that you have all the fuel you need to accomplish the greatness that is yours. When I say the reaping and the harvest is here, I don't mean it casually. I mean, this is like that life-changing moment. This is like when you hear about a celebrity who was before their time, for instance, and they were doing all the things you've been doing, all this, it's like preparation in a way. And then they had the breakthrough moment because they didn't give up. They kept the faith. This is your breakthrough moment. Today's your day. So if you want to do a quick little repeat after me, we can do, and it will be so fun. It'll be an energetic transmission. And kind of that cherry on top, it's a ritual that gives value and meaning to everyday moments. And yours is short. I declare that I am ready for my breakthrough. I commit to taking action to receive my harvest. And there you are. So Spirit, in the tarot, what would you like to show my beautiful Fluorite crew? What is their message? Knight of Coins. Yes, that is about taking that action. Keeping the faith. The Knight of Coins is a relatively slow-moving knight. But what the Knight of Coins is consistent. This is not about the speed at which you're about to reap. This is about the speed at which you're asked to stay at, to stay consistent, to not give up, to keep the faith, and to focus on replenishing yourself. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Of course, the Ace of Swords. Oh, yes. The Emperor, naturally. The Two of Wands. And the World. So you can't make it up, but if you could, that's exactly what I would have made up. I love that there's some eyes in this Two of Wands, because it's all about recognition of what you desire. In short, Spirit is reiterating all that we've discussed in imagery, which is often what our final tarot comes out to. I love it. It is poetic. Your turn of fortune is that the world has joined you, essentially. This almost looks like the Wheel of Fortune too, the alchemy. You've been playing with the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone or the magic for a long time. Maybe this entire lifetime, because you knew it was in your heart. You were, again, a person ahead of your time. Tides have turned, and everyone's joining you now. They're going to be looking to you as the Emperor, as the captain of the ship, and you are in the perfect place to lead them, as long as you keep the faith and start giving to yourself aggressively. Never unkindly. I know you'd never do that. And never to create any kind of violence in others. I don't think you're at risk of either of those things. Truly, I believe you are ready to step into your power. So your job now to prepare yourself for the Emperor role, because the world is going to be looking at you, is to nourish, nurture, and love on yourself. I want you to start thinking of yourself as if you are a very posh celebrity. Some of you may be, so this might come very easily. But for those who aren't, think of yourself as a very posh celebrity, but one who's very grounded and down to earth, doesn't put on a lot of airs or any. Those people who like you hear about in the industry, they're always remarkable, rare cases because they're incredibly successful and well-known and admired by so many. Yet when you speak to them, they're completely grounded, humble, with no baloney. Yet those individuals are making sure they get their sleep, making sure their body, mind, and spirit are well taken care of. They are nurturing and nourishing themselves. And I want you to do that, my beautiful Fluorite Crew, as if you're preparing to lead an army. Because when I tell you you're preparing to lead the world, I'm not doing it to be cheeky. I'm not doing it to be cute. And as much as I love your ego and mine too, I'm not doing it for either of our egos. Them's just the facts that Spirit would like me to deliver. So here with the Emperor, the Two of Wands, which is traditionally an individual holding the world in their hands, but this individual is holding some other piece of technology. Whoop! Take a look at that. I don't know what it is, but it is there. You will be seen. You will be seen by large audiences. So don't get caught up in that. Know that you owe it to yourself to be seen happy, joyful, practicing what you preach. As far as the Ace of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, this comes as a new beginning. It comes as, it may come for some of you as news. You may be told something. You may have a new idea, a new thought. What's certainly happening for all of you is a new way of thinking. Because although you've been on the heart train forever and helping to lead and herald this new paradigm shift that's new to so many, the mind has been with us. And so as the collective embraces their heart, you're going to feel that shift within your mind. That's going to feel like a decrease in stress and anxiety, an increase in clarity, an increase especially in your own clarity and what you want to pursue and what's valuable to you and what you desire. So start thinking of yourself now as an individual. You've been thinking of the collective for so long. This is a little like a rebalance. Now we need you to step into that leadership role and lead yourself. For now, you're an army of one. I don't think it's going to stay like that for long, my beautiful Fluorite Crew. So let me know, what's your gig? Please let us know in the comments down below. It's podcast, book, story, screenplay, or none of these things. If it's a nonprofit organization or a housing shelter or a place for pets or blood drive, or if it's as simple as you are taking care of your own home and that you run your room, the room that you rent, and you keep it clean and you keep it nice, and your business is just being a person who lives by their values. Whatever that is, they are all equally valuable. None is superior to the other. I just want to know what you're proud of, because I and Spirit are so very proud of you and so very grateful for you. I am giving you all the love that I've got, my beautiful Fluorite Crew. You are one in a million and a hero. And I'm just so grateful. If you enjoyed the video, throw down a like. If you'd like a key to the Little Reader's house, go ahead and subscribe. And of course, comments to the end of days, even if you leave 10, because it's nice. You know, it can be a little lonely on these streets sometimes. So love to hear from you. But I'm sending you all the love I got. And until we meet again, beautiful soul, bye for now.